Honestly, Maya, the idea of logging in and finding my computer already finished half my work feels almost surreal, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I get that. But what's wild is this isn't the future anymore, it's the present. Agentic AI has started doing just that, automating tasks without waiting for us to prompt it. That changes the vibe of our workdays, don't you think?
Totally. I mean, until recently, most of us thought AI was just about chatbots or generating text. But now it's more like sharing an office with a digital teammate who works independently.
And that teammate is getting more capable by the week. I had my calendar updated and emails sent before I even poured my coffee. My computer just took care of it. It's a whole new level of productivity.
So that brings me to the big question. What actually sets Agentic AI apart from the AI we've gotten used to, like the ones that just write or answer questions?
Here's the shift. Agentic AI doesn't just wait for instructions. It senses what's going on, decides what needs doing, and then acts, sometimes even learning from the outcome. It's the difference between a calculator and a personal assistant who reads your mind.
That sounds almost eerie, but I see what you mean. Like an AI that notices it's Tuesday, realizes you usually send weekly reports, and just does it without being told.
Exactly, and it can handle way more than just reports. Soon we might rely on it for the entire workflow. That actually reminds me, did you hear about those LinkedIn outreach bots doing the whole lead generation cycle?
Yeah. Their wild AI tools now scan for ideal leads, send out personalized messages, and even book calls without a person typing a thing. It's changing how sales teams operate.
It doesn't stop there. Logistics companies are using similar tech. If a storm disrupts shipping lanes, the AI reroutes packages and starts negotiating with suppliers before a human even sees the alert. That kind of initiative was science fiction not long ago.
And in banking, some systems can spot fraud, freeze suspicious accounts, and instantly message the affected client. That's a level of vigilance that humans just can't match around the clock.
Funny you mentioned that customer support is being shaken up too. Salesforce reported their AI agents already replaced about 4,000 support roles, handling all the routine issues so people can focus on the tricky, emotional stuff.
That's such a big jump. For years, AI was just a fancy tool like spell check on steroids. Now it feels like we're actually working alongside something that thinks for itself.
It really is a different relationship. Instead of just getting answers, we're depending on these systems to ask the next question, spot the next problem, or even flag new opportunities. It's like hiring a colleague who never sleeps.
I love that idea, but it makes me wonder, are we ready to trust a digital coworker to make those decisions? What happens if it misses something important or makes a weird call?
That's a fair worry. I think the secret is balance, letting AI handle the routine stuff, while humans keep an eye on the bigger picture and step in for the exceptions. It's a partnership more than a handoff.
So, looking ahead, how do you see this changing what our jobs actually look like, day to day?
I picture work becoming more about creativity, problem-solving, and relationship building, since the systems will take over the repetitive, time-consuming chores. Suddenly, there's more room for the human side of things.
That's a hopeful spin. Still, people are bound to worry about job losses, especially when you hear stats like thousands of support roles being automated already.
True, and those concerns are real. But it's also a chance for us to rethink roles. What surprised me most is how some companies are retraining staff to work alongside these AIs, coaching them, troubleshooting, or focusing on tasks AI just can't handle.
If we get that balance right, maybe Agentic AI could help us do our best work, not just more work. I guess the future isn't about competing with robots, it's about teaming up with them. So Maya, let's jump right into the big question everyone's quietly or not so quietly asking. Are these new AI agents actually going to take over our jobs?
People are nervous, Tao, and I get it. The short answer is, not exactly. Sure, some roles will change or even disappear, but it's more like jobs will get remodeled. Think about call centers. Agents won't vanish, but they might end up managing fleets of digital helpers instead of answering every call themselves.
I can picture that. Like instead of a headset and a script, you're overseeing a dashboard of AI workers, stepping in when things get tricky.
Exactly, and that's a different skill set altogether. Supervising AI takes a blend of technical savvy and human judgment, something you can't automate away easily.
That actually reminds me of what's happening in logistics. Some warehouses are practically humming with autonomous agents tracking inventory, scheduling deliveries, even flagging supply issues before anyone notices.
It's incredible how fast it's moving. And finance is right there too. Trading agents can analyze market shifts around the clock, way faster than human teams, at least for the number-crunching grunt work. But when it comes to big-picture strategy or risk management, humans still call the shots.
So we're not seeing a total takeover. It's more this division of labor, right? Machines do the heavy lifting, and people steer the ship.
Right, and it's a pretty dramatic reshuffling. We're inventing new kinds of jobs as we go, like an AI pit crew for trading or supervisors for logistics bots.
Funny you say that, because it shines a light on what humans are especially good at: creativity, strategy, and wrestling with the ethical stuff that AIs just can't wrap their circuits around.
I'm glad you brought that up. No matter how smart an agent gets, it doesn't dream up new ideas or weigh the messy, moral gray areas. That's our territory coming up with the next campaign, or deciding what responsible actually means when things get complicated.
And honestly, I'd rather spend my day brainstorming or problem solving than doing the same routine task over and over.
Same here. If agents can handle the repetitive stuff, that frees us up for the work that feels more meaningful and usually more fun.
But here's where things get real. Just tossing AI agents into a business doesn't guarantee success. Gartner's saying half the companies trying agentic AI might just end up abandoning their projects altogether.
That statistic is wild. So many leaders get dazzled by shiny new tech, but they're not always ready for the behind-the-scenes work like upgrading infrastructure or training managers to lead a hybrid human-AI team.
I've seen it firsthand. Companies launch pilots with tons of hype, then hit a wall because their systems or workflows just can't keep up.
Or the culture clash. People need time and support to adapt. Sometimes the hardest part isn't technical, it's convincing everyone it's worth the growing pains.
So maybe it's less about who gets to AI first, and more about who's willing to roll up their sleeves and rethink how their whole operation works.
Absolutely. Being first doesn't matter if you're not prepared. The winners are going to be the ones who invest in training, upgrade their foundations, and create space for trial and error along the way.
That changes the question, doesn't it? It's not, will AI replace us? But are we ready to reimagine what our jobs could be with AI by our side?
And I love that shift. Replace really isn't the right word. Rearrange fits so much better. The future of work is going to look different, but we get to help design it.
So before we wrap up, let's dig into something listeners can actually use. Staying ahead as AI keeps changing the game. Where do you even start?
The first move is pretty simple, but easy to overlook. Figure out what in your current workload could be handled by an agent, especially if your day involves combing through spreadsheets, processing forms, or any kind of repetitive data wrangling.
That makes so much sense because honestly, if a task makes you feel like a robot, odds are a real robot or agent will do it soon enough. I've seen folks in finance and logistics get caught off guard because they assumed their roles were too complex for automation.
Exactly. And sometimes it's those jobs with 1,000 little steps that are the first to go. If you're thinking, well, my job is safe because it's complicated, that's not always the case if it's complicated in a really repetitive way.
That brings up a huge point. Once you know what's automatable, it's time to shift gears and focus on the skills that let you work alongside AI, not against it.
Totally. The real superpower now is learning how to supervise and train AI systems. Instead of worrying that a bot will take your job, imagine yourself as the coach who guides and corrects it. That kind of mindset is invaluable.
I love that analogy. It reminds me of early pilots who worked with autopilot systems, not just against them. The folks who thrived weren't just flying, they were troubleshooting, fine-tuning, and making sure the systems did what they were supposed to.
And that's the sweet spot, becoming the person who understands what AI agents do well and where they mess up. If you can catch those errors or teach the agent to adapt, you're suddenly not replaceable, you're essential.
Honestly, the coolest part is what's left after the bots take the boring stuff. There's this huge opportunity to focus on our most human strengths.
Yeah, and that's where things like empathy, creativity, and ethical judgment come in. AI still doesn't do nuance or gut feeling well. If you're the person people trust to make the call when it's not just about numbers, you're golden.
There's something really reassuring about that, right? Because no matter how advanced the tech gets, you still need someone to sense when a decision feels off, or to imagine a solution nobody's coded yet.
Exactly. It's those moments that show where humans shine. The challenge is reminding yourself not to hide from AI, but to lean into what makes you different from it.
Switching gears a bit, let's talk tools. For a lot of people, using something like ChatGPT or AutoGPT is still kind of intimidating. Where's the best place to start?
Jumping in is honestly the best way. Start small, use ChatGPT to draft an email or brainstorm ideas, then graduate to things like Crew AI when you're ready for more. The more you play, the more you realize these aren't scary, they're just new teammates.
That's actually how I eased into it. I gave ChatGPT my grocery list and asked it for recipe ideas. Tiny steps, but now it's second nature. What surprised me is how much faster things get when you're not stuck doing every step yourself.
Exactly, once you're comfortable, you start spotting new shortcuts everywhere. And suddenly, your job isn't just easier, it's more interesting because you're spending more time on stuff that matters.
Before we close out, there's one final piece you always bring up: curiosity. Why do you think that's so critical right now?
Because the landscape is shifting constantly. Companies like Salesforce and OpenAI are rolling out agent as a service platforms almost every month. If you keep exploring, you turn surprises into opportunities, not threats.
I love how you put that. If you stay curious, even a tool that seems overwhelming today could be your secret weapon tomorrow. Plus, there's always that upside a teammate who never complains about Mondays.
I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. Makes you wonder what excuses AI agents would come up with if they did complain.
So with all that, thanks for tuning in to Digital Intelligence Lab today. We hope you're walking away with practical steps and maybe a little more optimism about working alongside AI.
And if you enjoyed this chat, hit subscribe, leave us a comment, or let us know what AI topics are keeping you up at night. We genuinely want to hear from you.
Seriously, your questions and ideas always spark our best discussions. What's on your mind for the next episode? Drop us a note, we're always listening.
All right, see you next time at Digital Intelligence Lab, where we keep decoding the digital age together. Don't miss it.